Do you find yourself looking for a simple meal plan strategy to create your meal plan in minutes, but you're not sure where to begin? Well, I have got you covered. My name's Tiffany, and I help busy millennials who feel overwhelmed in the kitchen learn new skills to create quick, healthy meals with wine pairings. Check out my link in the description below. Follow me on social media for daily tips, tricks, recipes, and inspiration. I look forward to connecting on our other platforms. In today's video, I am going to share 5 simple steps to help you create your meal plan in minutes so you have more time to spend life doing the things you love and choosing that time with freedom and flexibility. But that's not all. I also have a super simple strategy to help you create your beverage pairing experience to go along with these new recipes that you are going to be discovering to help tantalize your taste buds and change the way you enjoy your adult meals forever. So be sure to stick around until the end. Let's get started. So before we get started with those tips, I want to hear from you. I'm curious. How do you currently create your meal plan? Are you a last minute Lola, which is exactly what I was before I learned any of these tips? Or do you feel fairly confident at creating that meal plan? Maybe it's a combination and you have a hard time sticking to that meal plan because sometimes life happens. Share it in the comments below. I'm curious to learn where you are at with your meal planning and how we can overcome those struggles, learn and grow together. So the first tip with this simple meal plan in minutes strategy is to check your family's schedules. Know when kids have different events. Know when you have different events, whether this is work-related events, maybe some evening classes at the gym, book club, whatever the case may be. Look at your schedule and know what is on it. This is going to help you better implement a meal plan that will work, as well as plan ahead for any last minute events because of freezer meals and prepping and other tips that we will get into to help you better manage your time to get dinner on the table faster and more efficiently. Now, once you have that schedule in mind and you know what's happening, you can figure out a time to implement some other strategies, one of which is batch cooking. This is a huge time saver, especially if you find yourself working long days during the week, but you do have that one day, maybe it's a Sunday, maybe it's a Tuesday, where you can spend a couple hours of batch cooking and meal prepping. This is going to save you so much time and energy later on in the week and later on in the month ahead. So you can batch cook by cooking up multiple chicken breasts, using a blank seasoning canvas, something simple like Italian seasoning or a little bit of garlic or onion powder. You can also do this with 3 pounds of ground meat as taco meat or some Italian seasoned sausage to repurpose later in the week for spaghetti and other options. Batch cooking is a huge time saver. Another way is to implement theme days. Some of my family's go-tos are Meatless Monday, Taste Buds Tuesday, Travel Thursday, Stir Friday, Slow Cooker Saturday, and Super Sunday, especially during the colder months. We like to have at least one day in there where there is nothing planned on our meal plan for when those last minute things come up. Or maybe you find yourself with extra leftovers in the fridge, or you just don't feel like cooking. That's life. We don't have to cook every day. And that's also where that batch cooking comes in handy, so you don't have to worry about cooking every single day. To help with those theme days and add in some creative inspiration, Taste Buds is a great option. Taste Buds is a small but mighty box that introduces you to new flavors and new recipes that you can't find anywhere else. These tantalizing flavors come in the forms of recipes with main courses, side dishes, desserts, appetizers, snacks, and even beverages. Taste Buds takes the guesswork out of cooking, and it also saves you money and energy in the kitchen, so that way you can start to take control of your life while also getting dinner on the table faster. Tip number 2 is to make that grocery list. Now, we all have those pads of paper laying around, or maybe you've gone digital and you drop it in a note in your phone, but we still always forget things. It happens. So the best way to make that grocery list is to write everything down that is on that recipe. Even the things as simple as olive oil that you already have at home. Write it down. Then go through your pantry and cross off all of the things that you already have on hand. Now, if you're looking for some canned beans or other non-perishables, take them out of the pantry right away, set them on the counter so that way you have them accessible and ready to go when you start cooking. Having all of your ingredients ready to go at easy access is going to save you time while you're cooking and get that dinner on the table faster. Once you've crossed off everything that you already have, you now have your list, you're ready to go to the store. Now, a little bonus tip, when you have that list, organize it in categories. So have all of your produce lumped together, your dairy items grouped together, any meat that you need, your pantry goods, bakery item. Categorize them on your list just like your local grocery store is set up, so that way you are spending less time in the grocery store. Plus, it's going to help you reduce that temptation of seeing those random sales on the end cap. I know that's something that I get distracted with often if I go into the grocery store and I don't have my list ready to go. So this is going to help you save time and money while you're grocery shopping. Now, before we jump into the next tip, I want to remind you to hit the subscribe button because I'm dropping videos like this every week, and I would hate for you to miss out on the next tip or trick shared right here inside my tasting room. So tip number 3 is to prep for the week. Now, you've got your meal plan all written out. You know what you're cooking when. You've gone to the grocery store. You've got your ingredients. So now it's time to prep everything that you can in advance. In particular, we are talking about the produce. So before that produce goes into your crisper drawer and elsewhere in the fridge, prep it. Chop up those tomatoes, dice up the bell peppers, dice up the onions, and whatever other produce items you're going to be using throughout the week. Our prep and store container is a great way to portion these out, as well as keeping them cold and ready to go, nice and fresh for when you are ready to start cooking. This is also an excellent way to prep snacks for those hungry kids in the afternoon when they get home from school, or when you need that afternoon pick-me-up. Having the veggies already prepped and ready to eat means that you are more likely to eat those versus grabbing for that bag of potato chips that's going to taste good but make you feel not so good later on in the day. Number 4 is to be flexible. Give yourself some grace. Life happens. We all have those last minute events come up that we forgot to write down. We all have those moments where we just don't feel like cooking, or maybe the flu hit your house and you don't have the energy to cook. Be flexible. When these things happen, yes, takeout is going to be tempting, and sometimes you need to just hit the drive-thru or grab that frozen pizza. But another option is to be prepared with freezer meals and meal mixes in your pantry. Some of my go-tos are soup mixes. In particular, our tortilla soup mix and our minestrone soup mix. These are super simple, come together in less than 30 minutes, and you just need liquid. So both of these can be made with water or broth, whichever you have. And if you have additional ingredients to add in, awesome. If you don't, it's okay, because they both already have seasonings and dehydrated vegetables in them, filled with nutrition and ready to go. Just bring to a boil, simmer on the stove, and you have got soup ready in less than 30 minutes. Now with the tortilla, I love to add in some extra diced veggies, topped with shredded cheese or some sour cream. Another great way with that tortilla soup is to use crushed up tortilla chips. For some reason, there's always those crushed pieces at the bottom of the chip bag. Well, rather than throw them away, you can use them as a crunchy topping on your bowl of warm tortilla soup. Now, there are also some other meal mixes, a scampi meal mix, pad thai, and chili, which are perfect for those busy nights when you just don't feel like cooking. The pad thai sauce comes together in less than 5 minutes, and you simply pour over your noodles, plus or minus the protein, and you have got fresh, restaurant quality meal ready to enjoy in your own kitchen for a fraction of the cost. Huge time saver and a money saver. Now, before we jump into the last tip, I want to hear from you. What is your favorite theme day? I shared our go-tos earlier in this video, but we're always looking for new inspiration. So drop your favorite theme day in the comments. Let's inspire each other to try new recipes and implement those theme days to boost the fun for the entire family. Now, tip number 5 is to make extras of your family favorites. Now, this is super important for those of you that have picky eaters, because when picky eaters have a family favorite recipe on the meal plan or have some of those already prepped in the freezer, they're more likely to try new recipes, because if for some reason they don't like it, they have a family favorite to fall back on that they already love and enjoy. So when you have those family favorite recipes, double the recipe to batch cook them. You've got one round of it ready to serve that night, and then portion out the other round and freeze it to enjoy later. Now, this is one of our go-tos when it comes to taco meat. We'll take advantage of ground meat when it's on sale in 2-pound packages, 3-pound packages, and then we have it ready to go in the freezer for those busy nights when we just don't feel like cooking or need something really quick and easy. This is perfect to do both of that. Now let's keep this momentum going by creating the perfect beverage pairing to go along with your new recipes that you're going to be trying after you implement these tips. Number 1, as a general rule, red with red and white with white. So generally speaking, red wine is going to go best with your red meat and your tomato-based sauces. White wine is going to go best with your white meat and your creamy, cheesy, garlic-based sauces. But that's not always the case. And that leads us to number 2, which is to consider your sides and seasonings. So when it comes to wine pairing, you need to look at the meal as a whole, not just at the main course. Find some similar flavors with those side dishes that are bringing everything together, and use that commonality to choose a wine that will complement without overpowering and bring everything together. So just like with the red meat and the white meat, when it comes to those seasoning flavors, your garlic and herbs are typically going to go better with a white wine, whereas the spicy notes, whether it is spicy in the terms of heat or baking spices, a red wine is usually the better option with those savory, spicy notes. And number 3, sweet likes heat. When you find yourself enjoying a spicy dish such as Mexican, curry, or Thai food, a sweeter wine is the better route to go. Not only will it cut back on that spiciness, bringing out other flavors that you may have never noticed before, but it is also going to accent the flavors in general and bring everything together. Now, if you're looking to increase that spiciness, grab yourself a dry wine and it will do just that. But remember, I warned you that it's going to get more intense. So to learn even more about food and wine pairing, click the link in the description below and download your copy of my basic food and wine pairing guide to help you take the first step in becoming the wine pairing guru in your social circle right away today.